Okay, I'm making this instructional video for some of my YouTube friends online and people that look at my Airex webpage I've got. Rexhall Industries Incorporated made an Airex model. This happens to be a 1990. You might notice it has 1989 Chrysler minivan light assemblies in the front of it and some other Chrysler parts inside. This one is made on a Ford chassis and has a Ford 460 engine in it. I'll show you first the storage compartments. This is a large one. When you open that door, inside it, a portion of that compartment goes all the way through to the other side, which is kind of convenient. In here is a smaller storage compartment. Here is the generator. If you open this up, there's a generator that can provide power to everything in here. It's got a start switch. You can press it from outside. There's another one on the dash. Inside here, there are a couple of circuit breakers hidden around the side of the generator. Some people don't know there are breakers back in there. This is fuel supply and electrical supply. This cord goes to the coach batteries, which I'll show you where those batteries are. So if your generator won't start, check the breakers on the side of the generator there. That's the exhaust for the furnace, which lives under one of the seats inside. There's your water inlet. There's where the gas goes. This is the electrical compartment. Normally you would plug this power cord into your RV campground. In this case, I have an RV outlet right on the side of my house. It's got two different kinds of amperage. And in here, if you start your generator and you find that you can't provide power to the inside of your motorhome, you need to first plug the end of this cord into your generator outlet that's right in here. So your generator power comes out of here and you plug your cord into it. This is an outlet, I think, for cable TV. If you're in an RV park, you can hook the cable in there and then it'll go into your TV inside. This particular unit hasn't been driven in 2 years and everything is dirty, as you might notice. This is where a pipe goes that you use to empty out your sewage. I'll show you under here where the outlet is. That's where you drain it. Underneath, we'll just take a walk around the whole thing. There's the back of it. This one is 30 or 32 feet long, I forget which. I have a little shelf here to put things on that plugs into the tow hitch. Then you've got the other side of it. I'm trying to hurry. You can pause the video anywhere you need to take a closer look. This is where the rear coach batteries are. I'm going to slide the tray open. Some of these have one battery, some have two. I happen to have two 12-volt batteries wired in parallel, or you can have two 6-volt batteries wired in series. There are benefits of doing it either way. This is just the way I chose to do it. I even put a battery monitor here which you can press the button and it's supposed to light up to show you the status of your batteries. I don't know why it's not lighting up at the moment. There's always something to fix, always something to repair. This is a storage compartment here. This model has the longest awning that the awning company A&E made, which is quite nice. Gives you lots of shade. I even have the optional sunroom that snaps onto the awning. This is the water heater is in there that flips down. It's powered by LP. That's the back of the refrigerator compartment. It's also powered by AC, DC, or LP. This is the LP tank right here. On every motorhome, this has to be labeled. Mine is fading. This is a gauge that shows you how much LP is in your tank. I believe you can only fill these to about 80% of capacity and then they're considered full. That's the access to fill it. And that is a valve that turns the LP on and off to the motorhome. A lot of people feel like they need to turn theirs off when they drive at all. That's your choice. There's another storage compartment. Next, I'll show you what's in the engine compartment of this. In here, trying to do all this quickly, you've got a windshield washer fluid, you've got a power steering fluid, That's where you fill the coolant. That's where you check the oil. There are a couple of radiators here that help cool off the transmission. There's an air filter in this box right here. There's the air inlet for it. I found I needed to put a screen over mine to keep the squirrels from getting up in here and eating all the paper air filter. Here's a troublesome area here above the 12-volt battery. There's an electrical center here which is prone to getting really wet from road spray or water that falls down from the hood edge. Some people have fuses in this area that plug in. A previous owner here replaced this whole area with some circuit breakers that reset themselves and also get mighty rusty. There's also a Ford starter solenoid here. You may have one or two of those depending on how your power is rigged up to apply power to the house part of it and apply power to the starter. Okay, we'll go inside. Like I said, this hasn't been pulled out of storage or used in 2 years, so it's full of stuff and has not been cleaned. Again, this is a Ford chassis, so you've got a Ford steering wheel. Rexhall chose to use Chrysler heater controls. Many of these you'll find broken because the tabs, the ears that hold this to the dash back there, break off and this falls back in. This one's been fixed with some JB Weld so it stays in place. These are controls. This turns on a reading light, which is right here above the rear view mirror. This one is supposed to, if you hold it down, if you can't start your vehicle, if you hold this down while starting it, it's supposed to connect the rear coach batteries to your engine battery and give you a boost to start it. Mine does not function. You can start the generator here by holding this down until the generator finally fires. You also shut it off in the same manner. You would hold this to the off position for several seconds while your generator winds to a stop. You also have some things that are unlabeled on most. I put a label here. This green light indicates that when the generator is running. This is your generator hours. I replaced that on this. That's a gauge that breaks most often. Let's see. Oh yeah, you can get these door handle parts. There's a general distributor that makes those. They use them on all kinds of cars. And I've had to buy many new parts for this. Up here in this compartment you have the TV antenna amplifier. I'll show you something in particular about this. There's an amplifier here. It has a power switch. If you turn this on, I believe it takes power off your front battery, your engine battery. I may be wrong about that, but it can run your battery down if you don't remember to turn that off, because this will stay on whether your coach is turned on, turned off, or anything. It just takes battery power right off the battery. Let's see. Rexhall made about 8 different floor plans. In most of them there is an upholstered chair that sits right here. The previous owner pulled that out to have more room. This is a table that has a table extension. There will be a board that goes clear out to about here. To install the board, what you do is pull these cup holders out, slide the board back in here, and then you put the cup holders in to hold it in place. You've got lots of cabinet space in here. I have an unusual air conditioner that is a duotherm. This one has electronic controls. Most have just manual switches, which are better. The drawback with the electronic controls is if I'm not in here and the power fails for even 1 or 2 seconds, and then power comes back, these will not be on. So if you're keeping pets inside and the power fails, you could have a hot situation when you return. This is where the kitchen table would be. We take dog trips, so we've temporarily replaced some of this with crates. But normally there's a table at about this height. This is a chair. A cushion would be there and here, and the other chair cushion would go like this. And you could seat several people around the table. The kitchen area, microwave. Here's the stove. We made an improvement here. We put this thing that stops the stove from rattling and squeaking. It's a board that has these rubber stoppers on it that fit down into the stove burners. It keeps them from jangling around and driving you crazy as you drive with the noise. Here's a control panel near the microwave. You can turn your water pump on and off. You can see the status of your water heater. Just about nothing from stock is labeled, so you don't know what's what. There are a lot of mystery switches in these. But these you can use to check your level of your various water and battery. You can calibrate these by putting a screwdriver in these holes and setting it to where it lights up the number of lights you think you should have. Those tend to be very inaccurate, so you're just going to read a ballpark amount of lights. Here's some other switches that usually are not labeled. They are here. Porch light, that's the light that's above this door. This one, there is another light outside, on the outside wall over there, that if you have this switched on, it'll run all day and run your battery down. I've taken the bulb out of my driver's side porch light for that reason. There's an automatic step which should come on when you open the door. The step will slide out of here. Mine happens to be broken, so I've got a plastic step. Anyway, you've got a switch, you can turn the step off or put it on auto. So every time you open and shut the door, the step will go out and retract. Moving on, you can pause this anywhere you need to get a closer look at anything. This is the refrigerator. It's kind of a neat device because it'll run on LP, it'll run on AC, it'll run on DC. It has an automatic switch, so it'll switch between all of them in order to not run your battery down. Here's something most people don't know if their refrigerator won't work. There is a storage switch here between the doors. It's 3 positions. You can set it for normal operation, which would be like up, where the light comes on when you open and shut the door, or you leave it in storage so the refrigerator remains off, and it has a high humidity setting as well. If you don't know where the storage switch is, you may not ever make your refrigerator work. Here's a section down here that charges the rear batteries. It's a battery charger, power converter with battery charger. It has breakers, it's got fuses, it's got a terminal here which it supplies juice to the back batteries, and here is a thing that tells what each circuit is for. Probably can't get good focus on it. No, I can't. Anyway, it provides power to different things. Some of these Rexhall Airexes have 2 air conditioners, some have 1. Mine happens to have 2. There's one in the bedroom. There's a switch here where you decide which of the 2 air conditioners will have power, either front or rear. The electrical system is not capable of running both air conditioners at once. This is a bed. It's on a hinge. It lifts up. The fresh water tank is underneath the bed. It's in the back part. And also, if you ever need to replace your fuel pump, it's a big round thing that is just under the floor, under the bed, and it screws into the top of your fuel tank. In this motorhome, I actually had to replace that once. So I lifted up the bed, made a 1-foot square hole in the floor above the fuel pump and replaced it. So I've actually got a removable cover over the fuel pump, which was quite handy to have. Let's see what else we have. Oh, thermostat there. There is a furnace that lives under the seat in the kitchen table. Back behind here there's a furnace, and it has a gas valve, and it's a little lever. You flip it up or down to turn gas onto it. And if your gas is on, then if you turn the thermostat where you want, that furnace should kick on. Some people don't know that furnace is under there. It puts out hot air through a series of heat vents that go through the motorhome. Here's the frontmost one. And next I want to show you how the winch in back works for the spare tire. Many people don't know this exists. Your spare tire is underneath there, and there's a switch. See this toggle switch? It's in the rear battery compartment. I'm going to try to get a shot of it. There it is. This will raise and lower your spare tire. I can't remember if you have to turn on any other power switch to make this work, but the tire hangs on a cable, and you just hold this down and you should hear a little motor run, and it'll lower the spare tire down to the ground for you sooner or later. So this is a 1990 Rexhall by Airex. Airex by Rexhall. This is how to use all the features of it that I know about. Hopefully that gives you help if you recently bought one of these or have inherited one of these. I get a lot of questions from people around the country on how it works. Owner's manuals are available on eBay once in a while. I may have 20 minutes on this video, so I'm going to attempt to show you a couple more things. This one is not for sale, by the way. I just wanted to do an instructional thing for you guys. I'm going to show you some manuals for as long as my time runs here. Hopefully you have this book, F Super Duty Class A Motorhome Chassis, 1990 Owner's Guide. This explains some of the operation of the vehicle. It covers things around the chassis, engine compartment, steering wheel area, and your instrument cluster. And I think that's about all it shows. Oh, another neat feature of these, to service things behind the dashboard flips up. The whole thing is on a hinge. There's actually a piano hinge that runs back here. If you take out a drywall screw around this underneath here, and on that edge, and possibly two more, I've forgotten, you can grab it here, and this whole dashboard will hinge up, and you'll be able to partially get to things under the dash to work on them. That's kind of handy. We're going to go to the stove. I have stored away owner's manuals and equipment manuals for the various parts of this motorhome. I can't really get them out one-handed, but I've got one that covers the microwave, some of the other parts. I've got one that covers the furnace. Online, I looked up one that goes to the Quickie step. Quickie is the manufacturer name of the step. I've got an owner's manual for the antenna system. I've got a manual for the air conditioner, most of which were downloaded online. There are different manufacturers' sites you can go to. I even went to the Norcold manufacturer's website and downloaded the PDF book for the refrigerator, which is handy to have. There are different things powered by LP. You have the refrigerator. You've got a water heater that's located behind that drawer there. It's powered by LP. You've got a stove that's LP. The furnace, like I said, was under this compartment. It is LP. And I think that's all as far as LP. Alright, now it's starting to rain. Anyway, that's a look at how everything functions on a Rexhall Airex. If you have any questions, just leave them in the comments below, and I'll try to check in from time to time to answer them for you. Thanks for watching.